We're Badflower. We're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
It was fast progression for you guys, pretty much. Like, you've been a band since 2013, right?
That's right.
For Badflower.
Yes.
So, and then this song got picked up almost instantly when you guys released it. So, I mean, how did that change, like, the plans for the band, whether it was for new music or for touring?
I think more than anything, it was just kind of validation. Cat Corbett started pushing that song, and we kind of didn't expect it when we wrote it, because I think all of our songs are more, we think of them more like art projects than we do like, this is the radio song, but it worked and people liked it. And yeah, she started playing it, so that just kind of validated us in our creative ways of songwriting. So I think we just were able to take that and continue writing the way that we were, knowing that, it seems like it's working.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like, I was looking at the lyric video that you guys have out, and I was just looking at scrolling down the comments, and I mean, you guys have a crazy fan base just looking at that alone. And there's one that stuck out to me that you guys helped someone not relapse.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, as a writer, like, how does that help you or motivate you to write, like, another song that's in your mind? You're going to be like, well, maybe this will help someone else in a different,
Well, yeah, that's everything. That's what it's like. When things like that happen, it's a pretty obvious feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I saw that comment too. It's the weirdest thing to know that people out there are actually listening to something that you made. It blows my mind every time when people write in our Facebook, say, I heard your song on the radio. It's like, wow, it's crazy that it's out there for people to hear, and it's touching them in a way that we never thought.
And yeah, and the best part about that too is we really write for ourselves. And then, because I don't think it makes any sense to write music. Oh, I think the masses are going to like this. We write what we want to write. And the fact that, people get inspired by it and just like that comment is just the greatest thing that can happen. Yeah. Unexpected and awesome.
And what did, inspire this style of music that you guys write?
Dark, twisted human behavior. Yeah. It's fascinating. And
yeah, we definitely like to touch on subjects that I don't think a lot of bands like to necessarily talk about. There's a lot of bubblegum rock going on right now, and we don't shy away from definitely the darker issues that people face.
Now, knowing that, like you mentioned, there's not that many musicians that actually touch on these kind of topics. Does it, when you're writing it, I mean, do you think twice about it, or is it just instant, like, okay, well, if it works, then, there's obviously a reason for this rock to, keep growing?
Yeah, it just makes sense. We don't really we don't set out to be a certain way or to tell certain stories. We just do the ones that come naturally, and they usually happen to be the kind of dark, twisted ones, which is great.
So you guys spent last year in the studio, NRG Studios, correct?
Yes.
Working on a debut?
Yeah, we did, and then we kind of took a right turn, and a right or left or 180, whatever turn you want to call it. And we started working at a different studio after that, where we were lucky enough to self-produce. Okay. So that was, energy was cool. That was, I think, even cooler, because it's fun to be creative in an environment where you don't have somebody else who isn't in the band telling you what they think might sound good. Yeah. So that was fun.
Now, how did this happen? I mean, because it seemed like you guys were already putting a lot of time in that studio already.
Well, we signed a record deal. We signed with the label, who had complete faith in our ability to produce ourselves, which is like kind of unheard of. That never ever happens. But the label was like, yeah, we think that these songs are great and you should self-produce them, and we have, and it's been awesome.
So anything that was recorded prior to the record label, I mean, is that still gonna be heard out there, or did you guys just scratch it and like start fresh?
It's to be determined. Yeah, we don't.
There.
It's not something we've even talked about.
Yeah.
It's being heard right now. Like you said, you saw the Heroin lyric video that was recorded at the previous studio, but we're going back in and kind of revamping everything we've done so far, and with a lot of new stuff. And it's really exciting to be able to do it ourselves.
So how did Heroin happen, and why did you guys feel like that was the song to release?
Well, like I said earlier, it happened very organically. We didn't set out to write the type of song that it was. It just was, the melody happened, the lyrics happened, and people liked it. So I think that was it. People liked it. So we thought that we would send it out to a couple people, and it worked. Yeah.
Now, there's a lyric video out. Any plans for a music video on Heroin?
I don't know about Heroin. I think since we signed with the label, we're kind of I think we're going to be starting fresh with a new single, and kind of working that the same way. So possibly a video for that, which we can't. I don't think we can talk about what that single might be yet, but
No, not yet.
So as far as releasing music, though, are you guys looking at doing a debut album like you guys had planned initially, or are you guys going to do maybe EPs or just release singles here and there?
Yeah, it's gonna start out with an EP. We're gonna work on promoting that. Hopefully, that'll be out early in the year. I don't know. Is that? Yeah.
It will be out this year. We have to get our music out. We want to. We're hungry for it.
I don't care who tells us not to. We're going to put it out no matter what.
Definitely want to hear more. Any plans for touring? I know you have like a date or two that out of the States, but I mean, do you guys have any plans?
Well, we're gonna go to South by Southwest in March, and then release the EP and hopefully tour, and just play to as many people as possible. And in the next couple months, we'll have some local gigs.
Now, as a band, have you guys toured yet?
Yes, not the kind of touring that we'd like to do, but we've done some traveling and some mainly West Coast. We've done a lot of West Coast, but I think hopefully this year we'll be able to hit the Midwest and the East Coast and
time to
everywhere
get out
else.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, when looking up your stuff, like I also noticed there was an interview you did with Lance Bass, but in that interview, it seemed like you guys have known each other for a while. Like the conversations you guys were having, it seemed like he's been supporting the band for quite some time prior to that. And then I also heard that Ryan Cabrera, I was actually with him the day before you guys did the Stage It with him.
Okay.
So, I mean, I see that there's big names that are behind you guys. So, I mean, how does this happen? Is this another organic, like, adventure happening for the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, that all kind of happened when we first formed Badflower in 2013. We were doing shows at the Key Club. Ryan Cabrera was there DJing between each band, and he saw us and invited us to play these Stage It shows at his house. And from his house, through all the people he knows, we met Lance and a ton of other people. So he kind of connected us with everyone that were.
We actually hung out with him last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
At a hotel cafe. There was an awesome show there, and Ryan showed up. That was cool.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that all these people in the pop world seem to really like our dark rock and roll music,
it's very strange.
which at first I thought was very, very weird, but now I just think that means we're hitting a wider audience than we expected, which is good. It's more validation. Validation's the best.
Yeah, definitely. Especially names like that.
Yeah, they're all such sweet people too. Lance is the coolest guy.
So what artists do you guys see yourselves touring with?
Oh, that's you, Al.
Ooh, that's us. Wow.
Be ambitious.
Be ambitious. I want to tour with Muse.
Ooh,
I want to tour with Mr. Jack White. Definitely.
Jack, if you're listening.
Yes, please. If you're listening, take note of us.
Yeah, and pretty much any project that Jack White has, we'd like to get behind as well. He's got a ton of them, and they're all awesome.
I'm a big Jack White fan, girl. Anything he does, I pretty much think is the coolest thing that's ever been done.
Yeah.
So
So as you guys mentioned, you do have South by Southwest. Have you guys performed out there before?
Yes, we did 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago, right? It wasn't the last South by. It was one before that.
it was all a blur. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the first experience with South by Southwest, I think you're supposed to just get really, really hammered drunk.
Yeah.
I think that's just the golden rule with South by. But now that we've grown up a little bit, we've got our
We've got our plan.
We've got our plan, and I think we're gonna try to do it right this time.
All right. So I'm gonna spend a day in the studio with you guys, and what is it that I would be expecting from the band?
Ooh, pinball.
Lots of pinball.
There's a pinball machine at the studio.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah.
Lots of
Oh, yeah.
coffee.
Who's the coffee guy? All of you guys?
All of us. Not Joey. Joey's got this rule where he doesn't drink coffee unless he's in the studio.
That's right.
And he has like one baby cup. He's a baby about it. The rest
So how did that start?
I just don't like coffee. I don't know. I always bring a 6-pack of good beer to the studio.
Okay.
Loosen me up.
All right.
but musically, I feel like we're getting
Yeah.
off topic a little
You're-
bit.
You're gonna see a lot of not heated arguments, but definitely creative arguments. A lot of banter between all of us, trying to make sure that we are able to say exactly what we want to say.
Yeah.
Josh gets down his vocals that he wants, and then he gets the drum piece that he wants.
And
There's-
yeah, and a lot of pushing each other too. We push each other really, really hard, and that's good because there's a lot of mutual respect, like within our own musicianship. So nobody takes that as disrespect. If I'm like, Anthony, you're playing that drum part terribly, switch this to that. I think that needs to be changed. It's like, it doesn't happen often. He's so damn good. But and they pushed me to hit notes that I didn't know
we
were
pushed you
possible.
hard on this EP.
Especially on this EP, I was pushed really, really, really hard.
It's like, hey, that's a good note. Sing it the octave higher. And he's like, I'm already as high as I can go. Sing it the octave higher anyways.
Yeah, there's a comfortability that happens, especially with these, because a lot of these songs on this EP we've been playing live for a little bit. So I sing them the way that I sing them live, and which I like and we all like. But once we're in this environment, it's like, well, if we're gonna make the best EP we can, you got to push it as hard as you possibly can, especially because our songs are so hard hitting and heavy lyrically.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of moments where I'm like, guys, I can't do this. I can't. It's like, well, you're gonna have to, because you're not allowed back into the control room unless you can nail this note.
Dang.
So there's a lot of sweat and a lot of tears.
And that's just you guys. I can imagine, like, if it was a producer was also in there, because I'm sure he would even tell you to go even higher.
Yeah, I would, depending on the producer. Yeah, but I think it's better that it's the people that know how I sing and that know exactly what I do that can push me harder than a producer who might not know me as well could.
Now, do you guys feel like you have like a plan as when you guys go into the studio? There's a set plan that you guys do, or is it different every time?
I feel like this time we knew exactly what we didn't want to do, and we just tried to stray away from that as much as we could, and just go in and, well, I mean, like I said, it was really exciting to be able to do it ourselves without a producer, and so that just opened us up to do really whatever we wanted to do.
So no plan. No plan
Well,
whatsoever.
there's a plan. We know what song we're gonna do.
Okay.
Usually, we'll text our engineer on the way over, like, "Hey, you want to do this song today? Sure, let's do that song." And we work pretty quick, which is important as well. If you can, especially with today's technology, everything's on computers. You can sit for weeks on the same part or the same song, and you end up not really getting anywhere. So we try to like nail it the first time and then move on. That's been the I think the saving grace of this whole process is that we put ourselves on a bit of a time constraint, even though we really didn't have one. But we decided one anyway, so that everything would be as spontaneous and natural as possible.
There's definitely a sense of urgency every single day we go in.
Nice. Well, to close it off, do you guys have like a estimated time frame of when we can hear new music or a release?
This year.
March?
Maybe around March,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think March.
Okay.
Is what we're
Yeah,
What
maybe
we're
a single
hearing.
before then.
Okay.
I don't know.
A single and a video, hopefully before then.
But definitely by March, we're doing the Texas thing. I think we will have something out.
And would it be maybe similar to Heroin, or are you guys, throwing us a different direction? Like,
It'll be in the same vein lyrically. A lot of up-tempo stuff coming up on this EP.
Yeah, this EP is going to be the really heavy rock and roll EP, which is awesome because we write so many different kinds of songs. We write a lot of slow ballads that lyrically are the same, vibe. They're all, strange and dark. But this EP in particular is kind of our rock EP.
okay.
It's very heavy.